My name is Vikram Agarwal from EdifyOnline. I'm here from the U.S. to talk about internationalization. First of all, thank you, Dr. Mittal, Dr. Patek, and the entire AIU organization, and also Dr. Shukla and Amity University for hosting this event. I think the theme of my speech today is going to be brevity. I know Mr. Thivio has covered most of the subject matter that we all want to hear, so I'll be very, very brief. But I just want to speak briefly about EdifyOnline. We were founded in 2016 out of a collaboration with MIT, the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. And we were founded with a very, very simple mission of everyone has the right to be enlightened. It just takes the right teacher. We've had the very, very exciting opportunity to collaborate with the Association of Indian Universities in alignment with the National Education Policy of 2020 to help internationalize education here in India, specifically through global collaborations, internationalization, digitization, and professional development. So I am here actually speaking on behalf of dozens of universities from the U.S., educational technology organizations, and over 15,000 independent faculty members. And so I'll get into this very, very briefly, but I want to share some data from a large survey that we did in collaboration with the AIU back in December of 2024. So we did an internationalization survey, and over 200 universities in India participated. I think many of you are here. And then the data was very, very encouraging, but also introduces some challenges. But what we found out is approximately 50% of universities in India have international collaborations. That is a good number, but it also shows that half the people do not. And also, of the 50% of people that do have international collaborations, over 90% of them have MOUs that they have never actually acted upon and never actually done anything with. And so kind of in that spirit, we've come up with this concept with AIU. But in addition to that, so over 90% of universities find the implementation of international technologies as a very, very highly important aspect of their institutional strategy going forward. But over 75% of universities in India lack the institutional funds to afford international offerings. So what we came up with the collaboration of AIU is this concept of clustering. I think I heard some folks speaking earlier in one of the panels about a cluster type concept, but the idea is very, very simple. How do we provide international expertise, international talent, international technology to not just the 1% of Indians that can afford it? How can we provide it to 100% of universities in India? And the concept is this clustering, this collaboration model. We call it the university clusters strategy. And it's this idea of 1 to 5 universities can collaborate in the same classroom with up to 250 to 300 learners and share the cost, and through that also share the international resources. And what this does is it drives the per unit cost down for your students to a very, very reasonable rate, and it gives access to not just your students but your faculty, your administrators, to extremely qualified, extremely experienced faculty from around the world. Just speaking a little bit about the kind of demographic shifts in the U.S., it's no surprise to anyone here. The U.S. is looking very, very intently to India. I think what is changing, though, is that this model of the U.S., hiring agents here in India to send students to the U.S. to get 100% of a learner from India, that's no longer part of these institutions' strategy going forward. There's too much geopolitical risk, there's too much fluctuation, and there's too much progress going on here in India. The standards are increasing here, the students don't want to come in the same volumes they used to. So the strategy is shifting to how can people get 10% of a learner, 25% of a learner, and how can we extend the lifetime of a learner, right? It's not just from 5 years old to 22 years old, it's 5 years old to everyone here is actively learning right now. It's a continuous thing. So, how can we develop this ecosystem to where everyone benefits from focusing on their core competencies, right? And how can we create these bilateral collaborations? But speaking back to the clusters model, we are working to find universities here that are willing to collaborate, whether it's within their own organization. I know a lot of large universities here have multiple departments, multiple campuses, where collaboration can happen within or amongst universities. But to find access, to provide access to this international talent at affordable cost. From a technology standpoint, we've partnered with leading providers from the U.S., from Silicon Valley all the way to New York City to create this tech infrastructure to where we're offering it actually to many universities here at zero cost. We're offering LMS access, we're offering marketing resources, we're offering public-facing technology instances actually at zero cost to universities here. But let me keep going. But how does it work? It's very, very simple. We build our courses around the requirements of universities. So how do we differentiate from, let's say, SWIAM or NPTEL or these great platforms that are available here? These are great platforms, great resources. Everybody should be using them. The challenge is they're not international talent, and they're often asynchronous environments. It's not a dynamic, live, engaging classroom environment. So what we're trying to do is provide live faculty engagement through an online medium, but still in an engaging platform. How are we different than Coursera or edX or some of these other platforms? We provide faculty that develop courses around your curriculum. They will develop around your syllabus. They'll be creating courses directly to teach your students. These are not courses that are built off the shelf for millions of learners. These are built specifically for your students. And once we identify that, we will present you with a number of faculty members. You will select your faculty, and we'll create an online classroom. And all of this can happen really within 5 business days. You can go from some great use cases we have. We recently partnered with South Asian University, and we went from zero to doing multiple courses with them in just a matter of 3 business days, to where they are using international faculty from the U.S., from France, from Norway, in an online medium to their students, which represent 8 member countries around South Asia, but also represent learners from around the world. We actually have a faculty member from Chicago, and one of the students is somebody from India who is currently residing in Chicago. So they actually got to meet each other and have a beer and talk and everything. But so in addition to the university clusters model, I do also want to speak on behalf of dozens of universities from the United States who are actively looking for partnerships in India within this clusters framework. They are also very, very open to bilateral relationships. And I think that is the shift that we are seeing as we go forward. Universities have to be open to learning from the Indian universities, taking courses by the Indian universities, providing that to their students, so there is so we can foster more international collaboration. But recently we've offered, courses provided by, Check Skills, which is a leading education technology, actually a publicly traded company in the United States. And we just enrolled, I think, 1,100 students in a ChatGPT prompt engineering course from dozens of universities around India, from the University of Delhi, from the University of Hyderabad, from NEPA, from all over the country. The results have been very, very positive. But I want to keep this very, very short. We will be sending a follow-up email to all the attendees of some very, very exciting promotional master classes that we'll be launching in early July, where everyone here can be involved. But here's some contact information. You can meet us at our website, or feel free to email me. But thank you all for your time.